Whatever it is you seek in the form of rewards, you must first earn in the form of service. Each of us serves a portion of humanity, all those with whom you come in contact. That simple truth is the foundation of every lasting success in life. Yet how often do we forget it? How often do we look first to what we can gain without asking what we can give? How often do we demand the harvest before we have even planted the seed? The greatest error a man can make is to believe he is entitled to rewards without first offering service. Entitlement is a barren soil. It yields nothing. But service, honest and consistent service, is the richest soil of all. From it grows respect, trust, opportunity, prosperity, and most importantly, character. Think for a moment about the farmer. He does not stand at the edge of the field and demand crops before he tills the ground, before he plants, before he waters, before he tends. No, he knows that to receive he must first give. He must give his labor, his care, his patience. Only then does the earth return to him a harvest, multiplied many times over. Life is no different. The law is universal. Serve first, earn later. But many men resist this truth. They say, why should I give without guarantee? Why should I serve when no one notices? Why should I invest when the reward may be far off? And so they hold back. They wait for the world to offer first. They wait for opportunity, for recognition, for wealth, never realizing that the world waits for them. The door of success does not open to the one who knocks once and then retreats. It opens to the one who serves faithfully, consistently, until his worth becomes undeniable. Service is not slavery, it is strength. To serve is not to lower yourself, but to raise yourself. For service refines you, develops you, strengthens your discipline and your character. The man who serves wholeheartedly learns patience. He learns humility. He learns to put quality into everything he touches, knowing that his work speaks long before he himself is ever called upon. Those who chase rewards rarely find them. But those who forget about rewards and pour themselves into service cannot escape them. The man who gives more than he is paid for will soon be paid for more than he gives. The woman who puts excellence into her work, even when unnoticed, cannot remain unnoticed forever. The world may be slow to respond, but it never fails to respond. Every contact you make, every task you take, every role you hold, these are opportunities to serve. And each act of service, no matter how small, is a seed planted in the soil of life. Some seeds sprout quickly, others take time, but all of them, faithfully sown, will one day bear fruit. The question is not, when will I be rewarded? The question is, am I serving faithfully, fully, without holding back? For the man who can answer yes to that question already possesses the secret to success. The rewards will come, in due season, in ways often greater than he imagined, but the habit of service must come first. So, are you living to earn, or are you living to serve? Are you measuring life by what you have gained, or by what you have given? Because the greatest men and women who ever walked this earth were remembered not for what they earned, but for what they gave. Their wealth, their influence, their rewards, all were the byproducts of their service. The law of service, why giving precedes receiving. There is a law as old as time itself. Before you can receive, you must first give. It is as certain as the sunrise, as unshakable as gravity, as dependable as the seasons. Call it the law of service. Every reward life offers is purchased in advance, not with coin, but with contribution. Too many men forget this. They look at success as a prize waiting to be claimed, as though they can march up to life and demand their share. But life does not give to the one who demands, it gives to the one who deserves. And deserving is not found in words, but in deeds. Think again of the farmer. He knows he cannot trick the soil. He cannot bargain with it, cannot bribe it, cannot complain it into producing. The soil responds only to labor, to patience, to care. And the astonishing thing is that it always responds. A single seed, faithfully sown, will return a harvest many times greater than itself. That is the law of service in action. Sow before you reap, give before you gain. The man who seeks wages before work cheats himself. For even if he receives them, he has already sown weakness into his life. He has declared to the world, I wish to receive without first giving. And the world, in time, will give him exactly what he has asked for: emptiness, frustration, disappointment. Because no man can long escape this law. But look at the man who gives before he receives. He goes the extra mile even when no one is watching. He puts more into his work than his pay requires. He invests his energy, his creativity, his care. At first, perhaps no one notices. At first, perhaps he seems behind the man who demanded his rewards early. But time is the great equalizer, and in time, the faithful servant always surpasses the impatient taker. The world is always watching, always weighing, always waiting. It may not pay you today, it may not pay you tomorrow, but it will not forget. Every act of service is a deposit into an unseen account, and when the day of harvest comes, the man who has given much will discover that life returns his service in ways far greater than he imagined. Do you expect to be paid before you serve, or do you trust the law enough to serve first and let the rewards come later? One path leads to frustration, the other to fulfillment. One builds weakness, the other builds strength, and every man must choose which law he will live by. Serve first, earn later. This is not just advice, it is the very law of life itself. The character test: how service shapes who you become. Service does more than earn you rewards. It shapes you into the kind of person who can be trusted with them. That is why service must come first. It is not simply a transaction with the world, it is a transformation within yourself. Every act of service is a lesson. When you serve faithfully, you learn patience. When you serve sincerely, you learn humility. When you serve diligently, you learn discipline. These qualities cannot be bought, borrowed, or demanded. They can only be earned through the practice of giving more than is required. Think of the apprentice who begins at the bottom. His tasks are small, unnoticed, and often thankless. He sharpens the tools, sweeps the floors, observes in silence. To the impatient man, this seems wasted time, but to the wise, it is the foundation of greatness. For in those hidden hours of service, the apprentice is being shaped, not only in skill, but in character. And one day, when the time is right, he will rise not merely because he knows the craft, but because he has become the kind of man who can be trusted with responsibility. Success, you see, is not about what you acquire, it is about who you become. And service is the forge in which character is shaped. Service often asks you to do more than others are willing to do. It demands you go further, stay longer, and give better, even when no one is watching. And the temptation is always to ask, why should I? Who will notice? The answer is simple: you will notice. Every time you give your best when you could have given less, you build a reserve of strength within yourself. You train your mind to rise above mediocrity. You train your spirit to honor excellence. And when life finally places opportunity in your hands, you will be ready. Without the preparation of service, opportunity is wasted. With it, opportunity becomes destiny fulfilled. Service is the test that separates the pretender from the professional, the seeker of shortcuts from the builder of legacies. It proves who is willing to pay the true price of greatness, not by asking for rewards, but by earning them through the slow, steady, often unseen labor of serving well. So understand this: when you serve, you are not merely shaping your circumstances, you are shaping yourself, and who you become is always greater than what you receive. The hidden rewards: what service brings long before money arrives. Most people measure rewards in coins, titles, and possessions. They think of service only in terms of what it will earn them in the marketplace. But the truth is this: the greatest rewards of service come long before the money arrives. They come in forms unseen but deeply felt, rewards that no paycheck can match. The first hidden reward is trust. When you serve well, consistently and wholeheartedly, people begin to trust you. They may not tell you at once, they may not announce it in public, but silently they say within themselves, "Here is someone I can rely on. Here is someone who delivers more than he promises." That trust is more valuable than gold, for trust opens doors that money cannot buy. The second hidden reward is respect. Respect is never demanded, it is earned. And it is earned not by loud words or empty claims, but by quiet deeds of service. The man who serves faithfully, whether in small tasks or great, commands respect without ever asking for it. And respect once earned travels further than you can imagine. It becomes your reputation, and reputation is the shadow that follows you everywhere. The third hidden reward is growth. Every act of service stretches you. It calls forth strength you didn't know you had, skill you didn't know you could master, patience you didn't know you possessed. By serving, you grow in ways competition never could have forced you to grow. And this growth, this quiet expansion of your ability, becomes the very foundation upon which all future success will stand. The fourth hidden reward is peace of mind. There is a deep satisfaction in knowing you gave your best even when no one applauded. There is a quiet joy in laying your head down at night, not with the restless thought of what you demanded, but with the calm assurance of what you gave. That peace cannot be purchased, it must be earned through service. And finally, the hidden reward is opportunity itself. Long before money arrives, service attracts the eyes of those who matter. Someone is always watching, an employer, a leader, a friend, perhaps even a stranger. And when they see the spirit of service in you, they will remember. In time, they will call your name. Doors you never expected will swing open, not because you demanded them, but because your service quietly turned the key. So never think your service goes unnoticed. Never believe that the hours you give, the effort you pour in, the care you invest is wasted. Every moment of service plants seeds in the invisible soil of life. And though the harvest may not be immediate, the hidden rewards are already growing: trust, respect, growth, peace, and opportunity. These are the treasures of service, and they are worth more than any coin you will ever hold in your hand. The multiplier effect: why service always returns greater than it was given. There is a mystery in service that defies simple arithmetic. What you give is never equal to what you receive. It always returns multiplied. Give honesty, and you receive trust many times over. Give effort, and you receive skill beyond what you imagined. Give kindness, and it returns to you in loyalty, friendship, and goodwill. Life has a way of magnifying the smallest act of service until it becomes far greater than the seed you planted. This is the multiplier effect. It is as sure as the law of the seasons. You cannot plant one seed of corn and expect only one kernel in return. No, that single seed, faithfully sown, produces a stalk, and that stalk bears many ears, and each ear holds hundreds of kernels. From one act of sowing comes a harvest beyond calculation. So it is with service. The man who gives a little more than he is paid for will one day be paid for far more than he gives. The woman who offers her best, even when no one is watching, will one day be placed in positions where the whole world is watching. That is the power of the multiplier effect. It ensures that no act of true service is ever wasted. The multiplication does not always come from where you expect. You may serve faithfully in one place, and the reward may come from another. You may pour yourself into one task, and the fruit may appear years later in a task you never imagined. That is why you must serve with faith, not calculation. Do not keep score. Do not say, "I gave this much today, so I must receive that much tomorrow." Life does not work like a ledger. It works like a field. The harvest comes in season, but the season is not yours to decide. And yet the harvest always comes, always. For service cannot be buried, it cannot remain unseen. It may rest in the soil of time for a while, but it will rise, multiplied, in ways far beyond the original act. So if you feel discouraged because your service has not yet been rewarded, remember this: the stalk is growing, though you cannot see it. The roots are deepening, though they are hidden underground. Keep sowing, keep serving, for the multiplier effect is at work, silently, invisibly, faithfully. One day, the return will come, and when it does, you will realize that the smallest effort you gave, the quietest act you offered, the humblest service you rendered, all of it has returned to you greater than you ever dared to dream. Such is the law of life. You can never outgive the world. For whatever you give comes back to you, not the same, but multiplied. A life of legacy, serving beyond yourself. There comes a point in life when we realize service is not only about rewards, nor even about personal growth. It is about what we leave behind. True greatness is never measured by how much we gather, but by how much we give that continues to live after us. Every act of service plants a seed in the lives of others. A kind word today may echo in a man's heart for decades. A lesson taught, a hand extended, an example set. These ripple through time long after the giver is gone. That is the quiet power of service. It outlives the servant. Wealth fades, titles vanish, possessions crumble. But the influence of a life devoted to service endures. The leaders we honor, the teachers we remember, the builders we admire, what makes them unforgettable is not what they claimed, but what they gave. They chose to serve beyond themselves. The surest way to immortality is not through monuments of stone or records of wealth, but through lives touched and hearts lifted. When you serve with sincerity, your influence becomes a legacy, and long after you are gone, your spirit of service will walk on in the steps of those you helped along the way. So do not ask only, "What will I gain?" Ask instead, "What will I leave?" For when the story of your life is told, it will not be measured by the treasures you held, but by the lives you served. That is the highest calling of all, to serve not just for a day, not just for a season, but for a lifetime and beyond. So remember, whatever it is you seek in the form of rewards, you must first earn in the form of service. This is the unchanging law of life, a law as old as time itself. The world pays us in direct proportion to the value we bring, and the value we bring is measured by the service we render. You cannot cheat this law, you cannot rush it, but if you honor it, if you give fully, sincerely, and without reservation, you will find that life gives back to you more than you could have imagined. Serve first, earn later. That is the order. That is the secret. Every great man and woman who ever built something lasting, something noble, something worth remembering, followed this path. They gave of themselves, sometimes without recognition, sometimes without reward, but always with faith. And in time, the rewards came, not just in money, not just in position, but in fulfillment, in peace, in legacy. So wherever you are, begin. Serve where you stand. Pour yourself into the work before you. Offer your best in every task, great or small. Do this and you will never need to chase success, for success will find you. And when your days are done, you will not only have lived well, you will have left behind something far greater than yourself, the gift of service, passed on to those who come after. Serve first, earn later. That is the real secret to success.